Alright guys, Delzinski here. I'm back with more news after last night's Monday Night Raw because literally shit went down. There was so much that went down on this Monday Night Raw. There's a lot to cover. There's a lot of talking points. So you're seeing quite a few videos from me today because it was, and I've said this in every video, that damn good. Now what I want to talk to you about in this video was Brock Lesnar. Yes, the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar was in attendance in New Orleans after he had broken the streak of The Undertaker. The Undertaker was not there. It has been now confirmed that The Undertaker has suffered a concussion and he is pretty much sidelined for the foreseeable future at the moment. It doesn't really seem like WWE plan to bring him back in any shape or form at the moment. An interesting note, and Heyman mentioned this in his promo, so he did say he was going to shoot from the hip, and he did. And he did so by saying that Vince McMahon actually did go and ride in the ambulance with The Undertaker after the match and missed the final moments of Wrestlemania where Daniel Bryan was crowned WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And that is 100% true. That did happen. Now, what I want to actually discuss is, where does Lesnar go from here? He is the master heel. He is a monster of a heel. He is the biggest heel in the WWE at the moment. He conquered the streak. That is bigger than anything. Some may even say that is bigger than being world champion. Being given that accolade is something special. And it is something that really makes you stand up and take notice of a Brock Lesnar. Not like you can't take notice of him already. He's huge. But, you know, this was a big moment. And it kind of makes me wonder, where do they go from here? Because Heyman came out and he cut a promo of how, you know, Lesnar was the conqueror of the streak. He said he was going to do it from day one, and he did. His motto has always been eat, sleep, break the streak. And, you know, Lesnar pretty much did a good job of selling that t-shirt, which I wish I had bought now before the damn streak was over, because that is like a piece of gold in terms of WWE merchandise. I have the Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat t-shirt, but this one is just that little bit more important considering it did happen at WrestleMania 30. But yeah, Lesnar did a good job of selling that t-shirt, albeit that he didn't actually say one single word. He did scream, he did go, ah! a couple of times, but that was about as good as it got. But Heyman controlled the promo. But the promo didn't really come to anything. It was almost like hyping Lesnar even more so, because what was put out was the fact that Lesnar could have done a lot more. It was in the Undertaker's best interest that he did not get up from that third F5, because if he had got up, the dead man could have literally been deaded by the Beast incarnate. That was almost Heyman's promo. He was almost saying, yep, the streak is gone, but Undertaker, it could have been a lot worse for you, because Brock Lesnar could have ended your career. And maybe Lesnar has ended the Undertaker's career, because it does feel like Taker is not scheduled to come back any time soon. But what it makes me think now is, who does Lesnar feud with? Now, before he went into the feud with The Undertaker, he was going around saying he wanted to be world champion. So is the next step for Brock Lesnar to throw his hat into that title picture and pick up feuds with the likes of, you know, Batista, Randy Orton, Triple H, Daniel Bryan? Is that where we go from here? Because Lesnar, as I say, is the biggest heel in the company right now. He is a big deal, and he is on par with Daniel Bryan. Something that the WWE most definitely fixed at WrestleMania was with having Lesnar take the streak. That almost wiped the slate clean in terms of how Lesnar had been mismanaged since he returned to the WWE. I mean, losses against Triple H, losses against John Cena on his return at Extreme Rules. Those, to me, really devalued the idea that Lesnar is a beast and Lesnar is an unstoppable conqueror. That really damaged that credibility. Now, WWE have made an effort to pull that back, but giving him the streak, well, that just took him to a whole new level because, yes, it has almost, rewritten the way that Lesnar is being built. He is unstoppable if he can break the streak at WrestleMania. Albeit that he can't defeat John Cena. Says a lot, hey? Super Cena. Yep. Lesnar can defeat the streak, but he can't beat John Cena. Think about that for a minute. Anyway, where does he go from here? Who's his next feud? Because nothing can get bigger than the streak, and I can see the only thing that he can do is throw his hat in that world title picture. Batista could be a viable option. Those two animals going one-on-one would make a lot of sense. There was talk about this prior to WrestleMania when people were sizing up what Lesnar was going to do, and Batista had won the Royal Rumble. So this could be an option. I don't really see Orton because it's heel versus heel. I know Batista would be heel versus heel, but I think you can market that better than Orton versus Lesnar. The other option is that he does get in the world title picture, but I feel that Daniel Bryan is locked into this long-term feud with the Authority, so it's going to be difficult for Lesnar to poke his nose in there. Now, the only other option, and there was talk about it last night, that he was going to be interrupted by somebody, and that was Sting. But I just don't see that happening either now, because there was an ideal opportunity to get Sting on Raw last night, and they didn't take it. So I don't think we're going to see Sting for quite some time. A feud that I'd like to see, but it doesn't really live up to... it doesn't really do much for Lesnar, because Lesnar is that far elevated now in the company. I'd like to see Lesnar against RVD again. I thought those two had a real good feud. Almost like a former Paul Heyman guy, RVD, as well. They had some good in-ring chemistry between the two, and I enjoyed watching their matches all them years ago, and I think that they could re-kickstart that feud again. But it doesn't do a lot for Lesnar, and this is what I'm trying to put across here, is the only thing that really Lesnar has to do now is become world champion. There is nothing else important to Lesnar. He wanted to be champion in the first place. His focus and his sights were set on that, and Taker pretty much diverted him from the course. And now Lesnar has conquered the streak. Now he needs to conquer the world title picture. So I kind of would like that. The way I could see if they do want to slot him into the mix of this Authority versus Bryan versus Shield role, that you could almost have it so Lesnar is on his own. He's a standalone. And Batista, maybe is in a match or cutting a promo, and then you hear the Lesnar comes out, and Lesnar hits the ring, and there's no logic behind it. There's no reason, but he just F5s whoever is in the ring, Batista, Orton, and he could just come out and do this. There doesn't have to be a reason that he's chosen to pick on Batista. He could say that he's picking on him because, quite frankly, he broke the streak. And if he can break the streak, he can break anybody. So, I sort of can see that Lesnar can almost just dump himself into that world title picture. He can just interrupt who he likes because he is the conqueror of the streak. And he should really, play up to that. Look, you're not going to beat me. I defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania. I'm that damn good. So that's what I want to put to you guys today. Where do you think it's going to go? Who do you think Brock Lesnar is going to feud with next? Because I'm kind of left scratching my head. There is nothing else for Lesnar to do apart from become world champion. And that is interesting in itself, because if Lesnar does become world champion, then are you telling us we're going to have another part-time world champion like The Rock was? I mean, the belt has to be defended constantly, and it doesn't work when you give these guys on short-term deals championship reigns. So one thing I was wishing from Lesnar taking the streak was that Lesnar became full-time. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think it would be nice, maybe to honour the fact that you were given something so prestigious that you now need to come back and work full-time for the WWE. So guys, let me know your views, your comments, your feelings, and what you think is going to happen with the conqueror of the streak, Brock Lesnar. Is he going to become world champion, or is he going to pick up a feud with somebody else? Let me know via the comments box below. And as per usual, please rate, comment, and subscribe, and eat, sleep, conquer, and repeat. This is Delzinski signing out.